Do you want to save some taxes by just contributing some part of your income into an account? What if I tell you there is an amazing financial tool that can save you thousands of Canadian dollars and put it right back into your account? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, myself Prajwal Pai, and if you're looking to make smarter financial decisions, this is the right place. Today we'll discuss everything that you need to know about RRSP. So RRSP is called as Registered Retirement Savings Plan. It is a great initiative started by the Canadian government in 1957 for all the Canadians to accomplish and fulfill their financial goals during their retirement period. Did you know, according to the polling data by Edward Jones, only 39% of people intend to contribute towards their RRSP in 2025, which is a sharp decline of 10 percentage points from the previous years. RRSP is a registered retirement savings account which is registered with the federal government. It is an account where you can grow your money tax-free unless and until you reach the age of retirement, which is 71, or you withdraw the money out of your RRSP account. Normally, the word saving is a bit misleading in these types of accounts, so I would like to call this an account as an investment account because you are growing your money by deferring the taxes for the current year. Before we talk about tax deferrals and the investments, let's start talking about the contribution limit. Contribution limit means that the maximum amount of money that you can invest into the RRSP account. So that is calculated based on your previous year's pre-tax income, which is 18% of it. For example, if you are earning $100,000 in your pre-tax income, then 18% of it, which is $18,000, is calculated this year as your RRSP contribution limit. This RRSP contribution limit is always cumulative, which means that if you have not done any contribution, or if you have done only $9,000 contribution in 2025, that means in 2026 you will have 18% of this year's income plus the $9,000 that you have not invested in RRSP. Let's just say Jane earned 80,000 Canadian dollars in 2024. Her RRSP contribution room for 2025 would be 18% of $80,000, which is equal to 14,400. If Jane only contributes $10,000 in 2025, the remaining 4,400 of contribution room will be carried forward to the 2026. As we saw in the example of Jane, her contribution limit was $14,400. Because her annual income was $80,000. What if your annual income is more than that? Let's just say your annual income is $200,000. So 18% of 200,000 comes down to $36,000. Does that mean your contribution limit is $36,000? Technically, yes, but then every year Canadian government sets the maximum amount of money you can put into RRSP. In 2025, the maximum amount of money you can put into RRSP, irrespective of your annual income, is 32,490 Canadian dollars. Even though your contribution limit is 36,000 Canadian dollars, but you can only invest up to 32,490 Canadian dollars into your RRSP account. So now we know everything about contribution limit. So why do you need to have an RRSP at first place? For saving some taxes. So whenever you do any contribution into RRSP, the amount that you have contributed gets deducted from your annual income, potentially reducing the tax that you need to pay to the government. So let's take an example where John earns 80,000 as an annual income. His marginal tax rate is 30%, which means that he is implied to pay 24,000 Canadian dollars as taxes. However, if he does an RRSP contribution of $10,000, his annual taxable income reduces to $70,000, and 30% on that is $21,000, which means that he has a tax saving of 3,000 Canadian dollars. Now we know everything about RRSP. What is an RRSP? What is a contribution limit? There is a biggest misconception in terms of RRSP saying that, hey, my RRSP is growing. It does not. The amount which you invest into RRSP, that grows. So RRSP is an account. It's a financial tool for investing and your money to grow. You can use RRSP for investing in GICs, stocks, ETFs, even seg funds, which is called as segregated funds. This brings me to our honorable mention and our sponsors, Financial Miles. I can give you all the knowledge knowledge that you have, but then the only thing which you can make into reality is speaking to Jawahar, and he is the proud owner of Financial Miles, who can help you build your future in an amazing way and bring you to reality rather than just dreaming and taking about this knowledge. So thank you so much, Financial Miles, for sponsoring this video. So now let's get back to it. So now we know that if you invest your money into RRSP account, you save taxes. So why not just contribute into RRSP, save the taxes, get the refund of taxes, and then just take the money out of your RRSP account? Isn't that so simple? No, it is not. That majorly defeats the purpose of having an RRSP account at the first place. And also, if you remove the money out of the RRSP account, there are two things. The first is withholding taxes. That gets taxed immediately when you remove the money. And also, the amount that you remove from your RRSP account gets added into your annual income, and you might be bearing a higher marginal taxes than your regular income. For example, so if you're removing your money out of RRSP account, it will be added into your annual income, plus you pay a withholding taxes of 10% for 5,000 Canadian dollars, 20% for 5,000 to 15,000 Canadian dollars, and 30% for anything over 15,000 Canadian dollars, which means that you are paying right away taxes, which is a lost money whenever you take out the money out of your RRSP account. For example, let's just say Alex earns 80,000 Canadian dollars in 2025. He does a contribution of $10,000 in RRSP in March. This reduces the taxable income to $70,000, saving roughly $3,000 in taxes. However, let's just say that Alex pulls out $10,000 out in June. The two things happen. First thing, 30% withholding taxes, that means 3,000 gone immediately. Then the second thing is the $10,000 gets added back to the taxable income, possibly bumping Alex into a higher tax bracket. Net result, you lose the tax advantage and reduce your refund. So if you are going to pay taxes when you withdraw your money from RRSP, then why to put the money into RRSP? Why to just lock it into it? I know it is growing your money, you're saving taxes, but then eventually you're also putting money into it, right? So why to use an RRSP account? That is a $1,000,000 question which everyone asks. And the major reason is for tax deferral. As I was mentioning from start, it is a tax deferral and not for just waiving away the taxes. So for example, let's just say Alex, who was earning $80,000 in 2025, let's just go 30 years from now and let's just fast forward it. What if he takes an retirement in after 30 years, his annual income is less than $40,000. Now what happens if he takes out $10,000 out of his RRSP account, then his annual income becomes $50,000, and on that $50,000 he would be paying much less marginal tax when compared to the $80,000 that he might be earning in 2025. So to sum it up and making it simple, withdraw the RRSP account when you have low earning years rather than high earning years. So if you remove your money from RRSP when your income is higher in a certain period of time, that's when you pay higher marginal taxes because your tax bracket is increased. But when you're retired or before that, if your earning income is less in a particular year and you withdraw the money, you would be in a lower tax bracket. So that becomes beneficial whenever you're trying to withdraw the money from RRSP, and that is what tax deferral means. Now we know the ideal situation when you need to take out the money from your RRSP account. That is when your income is low. What if there are some circumstances in your life and you want urgent requirement of cash? For example, if you're planning to buy a house, if you're trying to learn new skills, there are certain plans set by the Canadian government where you'll be able to withdraw the money without paying any taxes. The first one, as I mentioned, is first-time house buyers. For example, if you're in Canada and you're planning to buy a new house and that is your first house ever in Canada, you can withdraw up to 60,000 Canadian dollars and you have to pay no tax on it. The only thing is you would have to repay back the 60,000 Canadian dollars that you had withdrawn from the RRSP within 15 years of withdrawing. The second one is if you want to go back to school or if you want to learn new skills, you can withdraw up to 20,000 Canadian dollars out of your RRSP account with a cap of 10,000 Canadian dollars every year. Similar to house buying, you would have to repay back this amount into RRSP account within 10 years. Otherwise, there are some penalties, as well as the amount that you have not invested gets added back into your income and you will be charged higher tax bracket. So now let's talk about the last segment of this video and the most important part. what happens to my money which is there in RRSP. So once you turn at the age of 71, your RRSP gets converted into RRIF, which is Registered Retirement Income Fund. So once your account turns into RRIF, you have to do a minimum withdrawal of 5.2% of the amount that is in your RRIF. So that is how you get the money out of it. You can always withdraw more money, but the minimum withdrawal limit is 5.2% of the amount which is there in the RRIF funds. You can convert your RRSP into RRIF at any age that you prefer, but the latest age is 71. If you do not do that before the age of 71 or after the 71, CRA will change that into your annual income, which means that any amount which is left in RRSP at the age of 72 will be considered as your annual income as a big sum amount, and you will be charged based on that as your marginal tax. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this was quite informative and you got a complete grasp about RRSP. I would like to thank our kind sponsors Financial Mile and Jawahar to getting in touch and explaining me about much in deep about RRSP. So thank you so much all once again to everyone who has watched this video. Do subscribe to my channel, do like, and if you like anything about it, do leave in the comment section below if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.